That might have been the best Goodwill trip I've ever had. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Station. This is for anything and everything animation. Yes, I know that I said in the schedule update video that Dune was going to be next, and don't worry, I have a plan for that. It's coming. But in the meantime, me and my mom took a trip to Goodwill, and we found a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of really cool stuff that I think you guys are going to like. So, I have been shopping at Goodwill for a while now because they have great deals, you never know what you're going to find, and it's always a fun experience going there. So, with all that said, I have had some great finds at Goodwill, and I've had some times where I've barely found anything. Today, I found quite a good bit of stuff. Some of it I'm not even allowed to show on camera because either it's boring or it's stuff that I don't really have much to say about, like 2 mason jars with handles, or curtains, or a big stack of hangers. Like, forget all that. I'm focusing mainly on the stuff that I myself picked out to purchase and add to my collection. So, this is my Goodwill haul. I originally wanted to do this as a TikTok, but it has so much stuff in it that I'm just like, you know what? Let's just do it as a normal video, put it on Animation Station, and then we'll do something else for TikTok. So, this is my Goodwill haul from March 3rd of 2024. Let's begin. There's actually a good bit of stuff to go through here, so I'm just going to kind of go through in a random order. So I'll just start with my stack over here on my right side. Let's start with this. One of the most interesting things I found there. This is Indestructible by Disturbed, one of their best albums. I saw it sitting on top of the DVD rack. I'm like, oh, Disturbed, one of my favorite bands. And I've always wanted to get more of their albums, because so far the only ones I have are Evolution and that one other one. What was it called? Immortalized. Yeah, Immortalized. So this is my third Disturbed album I have now. And it features a lot of tracks that I myself am familiar with. A lot of these I heard growing up, and a lot of these I am a huge fan of. Such as Indestructible, Inside the Fire, The Night, Haunted, Torn, and Divide. There's 12 tracks on here, but what's interesting about this is that this isn't the only thing that's in this case. When I popped it open and looked at it, along with my mom, there's actually 2 other CDs in here, so I thought I'd show those off on camera while I have this out. So here's the disc for the actual Disturbed album itself. It's a really nice reflective blue color. And then the most random thing I found in here. Like, this is random. Extremely random. I found disc 1 of the original soundtrack of Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, of all things. I found a Disney CD in a heavy metal case. That's crazy. But yeah, it's only disc 1. I don't remember what's on disc 2, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I always wanted to get this soundtrack anyway because I am a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan. And then this other one, I actually don't know. This other one's just kind of random. I might just throw it in my mom's CD case, so we'll figure out what it is later. Apparently it's a recording of a Broadway musical called Rent. I've never heard of it. I didn't even know it was a musical until I looked at the disc. Yeah, I've never heard of it. If you guys know what this is, please let me know. I'm pretty sure one of the actors from Has Been Hotel is in Rent. I can't remember which one, but yeah, outside of knowing it's a Broadway musical, I literally know nothing. So please let me know in the comments if you know more about this. But yeah, that's it's random, but it's actually kind of neat. So we're gonna take this one out. We're gonna put the Disturbed one in the actual thing. Then we'll put the Rent one there, and we'll put Nightmare on top. So, yep, that's item number 1. Well, technically item 1, 2, and 3, because there's 3 discs in here. Of Disturbed's Indestructible, The Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack, and some random Broadway CD. Like I said, random. So, I'm going to set that off to my left. Next, and I have some pretty friggin' cool ones here. I'm going to save that one for last. That one has some personal attachment. So we'll go, there we go. Alright, let's start with The Curse of the Black Pearl, Pirates of the Caribbean, junior novel. Now, you guys remember these from back in the day, like school book fairs and stuff. They'd always have one of these. It was based on like a new movie coming out. They'd have pretty much the whole movie put on text, and then they'd have these inserts right here, these neat little inserts of actual scenes from the movie. It's pretty cool, especially with the early 2000s and the 2000s and early 2010 ones. They loved doing this, and it honestly makes them a bit more interesting. Not to mention the books aren't the exact same as the movies. There's actually a few things changed around, which makes it a bit more of an interesting read. So, yeah, that's Curse of the Black Pearl. I'm a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan, and I saw this for only like $1.49, so I'm like, what the hell? Why not? It's pretty cool. I personally really like that. Now, this one I bought more on a whim, because I've honestly never heard of this book, but I've heard of this character. This is the normal novelization, not a graphic novel. This is not a comic book. It is a printout book of Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm not entirely sure about the context behind this book. It came out around the same year as Insomniac's Spider-Man game. But from what I can tell, it's like a telling of his origin story. Something like that. Well, no, it's a tale of him shortly after having his origin and being Spider-Man. So, should be really interesting. I've actually never read this, nor did I even know it was a thing until I saw it. I'm like, oh, Spider-Man book. It's not a graphic novel, and it's not a little kid's book that's really easy to read. So, and not to mention, look at that. That is a thick, thick book. So, this one's going to take me a while to get through, but I'm honestly pretty excited to dive into it. It looks like a pretty good time. So, yep, that's Spider-Man Miles Morales by Jason Reynolds. Now, this last one, I have some connection to. There were a couple book series in particular that I read a lot when I was in high school and middle school, for that matter. And those books, there were three series in particular I would always read. I would read Origami Yoda, which I already have the entire book series of that for myself. The Chronicles of Vladimir Todd, which, for those of you who don't know, it's a young adult teenage vampire book, but it's way, way better than Twilight. Trust me, it's nowhere near as bad as Twilight is, so you don't gotta worry about that. And then the third one, and the one that I have yet to finish, because I've read all but I think the last two books of this particular collection, is the 39 Clues. This is actually a really good book. Like, I've really enjoyed this series in particular. And for those of you that don't know what it is, it's pretty much about these two kids realizing that their family is part of like this big mystery spy syndicate thing, and now they have to go and hunt for these 39 clues. And book one, each one is named after a specific thing they have to find. Like for book one, they have to go through and find a maze of bones, which means they probably have to go to like a graveyard or something. I don't know. It's been a while since I've read these, but I remember these being very, very good books. So, yep, you got those. And not to mention, it's a really nice hardcover. Book one, like, the presentation's so nice. And not to mention, these books also came with cards on the inside, which I can't tell whether or not, I think they're still there. I don't know. There's tape on there, as you can see. But I'm not entirely sure if there's cards in there or not. It feels pretty flat. So I'm not sure if there's cards in there or not, but it's interesting. So, yeah, I can't really say much more about this without giving away spoilers, but I'll just say that these are very good books, and if you're able to find them, absolutely read them. And yeah, that's another pretty long one too. So, yeah, that's 39 clues, and that's it for the books. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next section. VHS tapes. I only found one. Okay, not entirely true. There was a whole bunch there, but they weren't really stuff I was that interested in, like a VHS copy of Blade. I already had the DVD of that. GoldenEye 007. I'm not really a James Bond guy, outside of maybe Skyfall. And the rest of the stuff was VeggieTales for some reason. Like, there was a whole big, like, at least 10 VeggieTale tapes in there. And I'm just I'm baffled. Like, someone must have given away, like, their personal collection or something. There was no duplicates. All 10 of them were unique and different, but I don't know. VeggieTales just isn't really my thing anymore. I used to love it when I was a kid, especially the one based on Jonah's Ark. But, not Jonah's Ark, sorry. The story of, uh, crap. Moses. That's what it was. Mo and the Big Exit. That's the one where they turned the story of Moses from the Bible into like a Western rivalry movie. It's a bit weird. I hadn't seen it in years, but I remember liking the original VeggieTales well enough, but not really enough to collect it like I do with stuff like SpongeBob or Jimmy Neutron, for example. So, yeah, there weren't really a whole lot of tapes there that really interest me, and honestly, I more got this one for the sake of completionism because in one of my other hauls, I got the first one. So, here is Toy Story 2 on VHS. It's a nice big one, nice big jewel case. I'm just gonna come clean. I'm not the biggest fan of Toy Story 2. I don't know. Even as a kid, it wasn't really my favorite one. I enjoyed the first one more. I loved the third one. And the fourth one was okay. So, I don't know. 2, for some reason, even though it's the most highly praised of them, I don't know. Then again, I haven't seen it in years, so maybe this will be the time it finally clicks with me. But I still wanted to get it because it is still Disney, it is still Pixar, it is still technically one of Pixar's best movies, so yeah, what the heck, why not? But that is the one and only VHS tape that I found that I actually wanted there, so here we go. Now we move on to the next section, toys. I only found 2. The toy section was not very good this time. The closest thing that was there that I almost got was the Nerf Dino Squad T-Rex Strife Blaster thing. And it is a really cool blaster, but without any ammunition, it's going to become a paperweight, but it is a cool blaster. I'll give it that. So for the toys I did find, I found some interesting ones. Let's start with the cute one first. This is a little one I found buried under the stuffed animal pile. This is Eve. Or Eva, whichever you prefer, from WALL-E. This is from the Walt Disney Store, and it's just too cute. I love WALL-E. It's always been one of my favorite movies, and this is just a cute little Eve. And it was just too cute to resist. Like, look at that. How can you resist that face? Not to mention they even have the embroidery for the little leaf logo from the movie. So, yeah, nothing on the back or anything. I just thought it was a cute little plush, and the plushies there are usually only like $1 or $2, so there's Eve. Then this one you may be more familiar with, because it's one of the franchises that has literally created this channel in the first place. SpongeBob! This is a 2006 bendy SpongeBob. I don't know what company made it exactly. It doesn't, here we go, Deco Pack, from Deco Pack. And what this is that it's pretty much like those old wire toys from back in the day. You know, like when you didn't have joints sculpted in, you would have stuff like this. These bendable wire joints where you can just move the arms all around however you want. You can move the legs around. He has really long legs. They can go all the way up. They can go all the way back. And there's no joints or plastic or nothing. It's all just wires. But it's a cute little collectible, and I do collect a lot of SpongeBob stuff, so I'm like, why not? I'll go ahead and buy it. So, oh, and he does have a weird mark on the back of his head. Don't know where that came from, but yeah, that's 2006 Deco Pack Bendy SpongeBob. Alright. Now for the big stuff. Well, first let's get the other big one out of the way. And this is actually going to lead into the big section for this next portion of the video. Is that I found this giant 45 case metal rack. Now for those of you who don't know what this is pretty much a giant metal rack, and it can hold 45 cases. Which means it can hold 45 DVDs or 45 video games. Or if you want, 45 CDs. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It has a carrying handle all the way up here. And it has these nice little rubber circles on the bottom, which work like feet, so you just prop it, and it'll stay up like that. And then you just stick them all in there. And like I said, it holds 45. That is a lot of space. So, yep, I'm just going to go ahead and put this back in the corner. I just wanted to bring it out to show you because it is part of the haul, and it is significant to this last portion. Because this last portion is all DVDs. All of them. This is where I had the most luck today. It was all in the DVDs. So, I have found, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had found 8 DVDs. And there's mainly a horror theme in here, but it's not entirely horror. There's actually some other cool stuff in here, so let's go through them together, shall we? Here are my 8 DVDs, and this is going to be the final portion of the video. So let's start with one that is a nice nostalgia piece for me. I've actually been collecting a couple of these in particular for a while now, but they've been a bit more scattered. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'll talk about it in a second, but I managed to find a working copy of one of the original release DVDs of Power Rangers Dino Thunder. My favorite season, my first season, and it's just always been the best one to me. And this is also the one where it introduces the Triassic Shield. It's the end of the Evil White Ranger arc. Like, it's so freaking cool. And yes, I checked the disc. It is in great shape. Considering the fact that this came out in... doesn't say. But I assume it came out in 2004, because that's when the show was airing. So around 2004, maybe 2005. I assume maybe 2005, because there is a featurette on here that advertises SPD. But yeah, I just found this a really cool little DVD, and since I am a huge fan of Dino Thunder in particular, I want to get all the merch of this one that I can. So, and what I mean by earlier is in collecting these for a while, it means I have the original Mighty Morphin movie on VHS. I have one of the Power Rangers Time Force VHS tapes. I don't think I have the Turbo movie yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it or not. It's a pretty bad movie, but... Yep, that's a third one to add to the collection. An original DVD from the original release line of Power Rangers Dino Thunder. So, I got this one off nostalgia mainly because I love Dino Thunder. It has always been my favorite season of Power Rangers. And I just couldn't resist. Childhood nostalgia, you know? It does influence you one way or another. So there's that. Next up is the first of many horror/horror adjacent movies I found there. And this is one I actually have not seen yet. Edward Scissorhands. The Tim Burton, Johnny Depp fairy tale movie. The one that's horror adjacent, and yet not horror at the same time. It's confusing, but this is a movie I've heard a lot of good things about. I've actually never seen it before. The only thing I've really seen of this particularly is the scene at the one scene where he cuts up all the feathers in the pillows and makes it look like snow. I've seen that scene. And then I've also seen this character design. But outside of that, I know literally next to nothing about this movie. Oh, and it was one of the movies that was chosen for the first Silver Scream album by my favorite band, Ice Nine Kills. So that might have also played a little bit into me wanting to see this movie. If you're wondering what track it is, that's World in My Hands featuring Tony Lovato. So, yeah. It was only a couple bucks. I've never seen it. I checked the disc. It's in great condition. And this is also one with a really, really nice slipcover. Like, look at that. It's like brand new. And I also really love this slipcover because a lot like my Expendables 2 DVD, it's entirely different on the actual art of the DVD, making the slipcover actually feel more important and special. So, yeah, that is Edward Scissorhands. I'm probably going to watch it sometime later on. I have a lot of stuff to watch, as you can see. So, yep, that is Edward Scissorhands. Next one, this is a movie I wanted to get for a while now. I saw it when it first came out. I was a huge fan of it, even though I apparently was one of the only people that actually liked this installment. But it's always been one of my favorites. I really enjoy this movie, and yeah. I found this one for a great deal. Halloween Kills. I have Halloween 2018. I've had it for a while. It has been one of my favorite Halloween films. So going into the sequel, I was pretty excited, and watching the sequel, yeah, this is a damn good horror movie. Not to mention, it is called Kills for a reason. This is Michael Myers' highest body count in the entire franchise. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool find, if you ask me. Not to mention, it's another one with a nice slipcover. Even though this one, unfortunately, is not as special as the one for Edward Scissorhands, because, as you can see, it's the exact same art. So, the slipcover is more just for presentation. It's really nice presentation, too, so. Yep, that is Halloween Kills. We're not done with Halloween yet, though, because I managed to find 2 of them. And this is actually one that I've been a pretty big fan of for a while, and it's one that's a bit divisive. The 2007 remake of Halloween, the unrated director's cut. I saw this movie for the first time about 2 years ago or so, and I actually really enjoyed it. I found it a very unique, refreshing take on the original 1978 movie. Now, it's not better than 1978 movie, don't get it twisted, but I really like this movie. I don't know what it is. Maybe I really like the newer Michael Myers. Maybe I like the changes they made to the story outside of that really, really bad beginning. Or maybe I just like the kills and the brutality. I don't know, but I've always been a fan of this one. I've always really liked this. This has always been one of my favorite horror remakes, and I'm glad to finally have it. That's another Halloween movie for the collection. Which brings the total up to 4, because I have Halloween 2018, and I also have a DVD of Halloween 2. So, not Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2. Alright, okay. These next 2 go together. They were both on the same rack, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of these movies, I do have a little bit of a completionist anxiety when it comes to this particular franchise, because it's one of those franchises I want to get every single film for, even if they're ones I'm not the biggest fan of. I am talking about, of course, the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I found both the movies, the 2014 one, which I actually have a guilty pleasure spot for. I've actually really enjoyed the 2014 one, despite its numerous obvious problems. And then Out of the Shadows is just good, stupid, cheesy fun. And as a Ninja Turtles fan, I still have a soft spot for them. Yes, they're not good movies per se, but I've had a soft spot for them. I've seen worse live-action remakes. I mean, after all, Dragon Ball Evolution exists, so. But yeah, I found both of them, so we'll just go with both of them real quick. Here's the first movie. Here is the second movie. So, yep, and that's going to bring up my Ninja Turtle movie collection, which up to this point has been the 1990 original movie, the Batman vs. TMNT, and TMNT 2007. I do not have I also have TMNT 2 and 3 on VHS, but that's besides the point. Point is, I'm getting closer and closer to actually completing having all the Ninja Turtle movies, and yes, I do plan to get Mutant Mayhem at some point. I freaking love that movie, even if I'm the only person who does. At least out of my friend group. My one friend absolutely hates it. Which one do I want to save for last? I'll save this one for last. Okay. Next up, another horror film, and coincidentally, another remake. Yeah, I know. Horror remakes are usually pretty bad, but just like Halloween 2007, this is one I actually have another pretty soft spot for. Especially because this is from my favorite horror franchise. This is the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. This is the Killer Director's Cut, so it has a bit more blood and gore, and some extra stuff in there. And I've always been fascinated by this one, because it kind of feels like a best-of compilation of the first 3 movies, remade, but just with a newer, different Jason. And I love the Jason in this movie. He's a fast-moving survivalist killer, and I actually find that really fascinating. It may just be me. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of this remake. It's not a great movie by any means, but I find it pretty enjoyable, and as a fan of this particular franchise, Friday the 13th is my favorite horror series. I do have a lot of fun with this one. And that's going to bring up my Friday movies up to 2, because I think the only other one I have right now on physical is Freddy vs. Jason. So, yep, that's the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. And now we have one more. I don't know if I've said this before, but I'm not a huge fan of this particular franchise. But this is the one movie from this franchise that I have not seen. I've seen episode 1, I have that one on VHS. I've seen episode 2, I refuse to ever buy that piece of crap. I've seen episode 3, I personally really like episode 3, it's always been one of my personal favorites. And then episodes 4, 5, and 6, I do have on VHS, and they are just as great as you remember. And then I've seen episode 8, which was crap, and I've seen episode 9, which is crap. And then I've seen Rogue One, which was pretty good, and then I saw Han Solo, which is crap. So, yeah, if that didn't give it away, I didn't know what else. This last one is a Star Wars movie, and it's the one Star Wars movie that I have not ever seen. I've only heard the praise of it from many of the fans, but I've never, ever seen this one. Despite having seen the sequels. Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's just weird. Don't ask me, it's weird. I don't know how that even happened. So, I shouldn't keep you in suspense any longer. The final piece of this haul of March 3rd of 2024 that I'm actually willing to show on camera is the Blu-ray, DVD, Digital HD combo pack of Star Wars The Force Awakens, Episode 7. The one Star Wars movie I have not seen. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to get this, because I'm like, well, I'm not really a Star Wars fan. Why am I getting this? Am I just going to be wasting my money? But then I gave it another look, and I'm like, well, you know what? It's another one with a really nice slipcover. It has a nice alternative reflective art on the front. And I have been meaning to watch it for a while, so why not watch it now? And, well, yep, now I officially own it, which means now that Star Wars shirt I have is not completely useless. So, yep, this is the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital combo pack, back when they actually had these 3 things in one freaking thing, and you didn't have to buy 2 different versions of the same thing. Sorry, I'm getting off topic, but, yep, I love this slipcover, having the actual art of the original poster and DVDs just inside the Star Wars logo, which is really, really nice. I love the reflective coloring, even though the back is pretty much the same. And then you just slide this off. They even had the courtesy to put it in a really nice black case, so it all matches. It's not a jarring blue case, which is really nice. And the presentation on this thing is really nice too. So, yeah, it's pretty much like brand new, man. It's pretty much brand new. No, the discs aren't damaged. I did check them. They're both great. It has all the original inserts that came with this release, like the the DMZ, well, the Disney Movie Club thingy, and the digital code copy. And then you have your 2 copies right there. So, yeah. So, that's the last thing of this haul. Episode 7 of Star Wars on Blu-ray, DVD, Digital HD. And I mainly got it because of that slipcover. It is a really nice slipcover, and it really adds a lot to the presentation of the overall DVD. Because there was a second one that was there, that was exactly like this, that I almost got, that was just like this. So, yeah, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but this is the one Star Wars movie I have not watched. So, I thought, what the heck, it's only a couple dollars, it's better than paying probably 3 times that on Amazon, so... Yep, that is Star Wars The Force Awakens on Blu-ray. And with that, we have our entire haul video, I would say. But since this is a pretty short haul, outside of my 8 DVDs, I've decided to also throw in my previous haul from a couple weeks ago. Because there was some stuff from my other haul that's actually pretty good. And not to mention, I also have one extra bonus thing to show at the end. It was a gift from a friend that I really want to show you guys. So, just stick around. We have a couple more things to go through. So let's start over here with this stack of VHS tapes. I did make a post about this, but I wanted to get this one on video too because this is probably the most VHS tapes I've found in one haul video. Well, in one haul trip. So, yeah, we'll go through these real quick. This is not part of the March 3rd haul. This is just extra bonus stuff. So, I'm just going to fly through these really fast. Home Alone 1 on VHS. Home Alone 2 on VHS. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which I just reviewed last December. The Super Bowl 25 Champions VHS tape of the 1990 New York Giants. Jurassic Park on VHS. The Best Indiana Jones Movie, Last Crusade on VHS. Con Air on VHS. And finally, the first X-Men movie on VHS. And the final thing from that haul was this. This is the Jakks Pacific Incredibles 2 Jumping in Credit Car. I'm not actually going to show the function on camera because it won't really pick up very well because I don't have a tripod. But yeah, this is really cool. I mainly got it because I am a huge Incredibles fan, and I'm like, oh, it's the Incredicar. Sure, why not? And then it wasn't until later when I did some research, and I'm like, oh, it's this. And what's weird is I don't even remember this being a thing. So imagine my surprise finding out what this really is. And how this works pretty much is that you have this lock on the bottom right here. And what you do is that you have to flip this lock on the off position. You roll it across the floor, and after a certain amount of time, it'll pop up with this extra suspension on the bottom, making the car elevated to about this high, which is pretty freaking high because the floor's here, and I'm holding it almost barely on camera. Yeah, it goes that high. It is pretty freaking sweet. So there's that. And then the last thing for this video, the extra bonus one I want to throw in because I just have to show it off. I just got this about a few days ago. It was a late gift from a really good friend of mine, and she's just the best person. Like, no, I'm not saying she's late. No, don't get it twisted. The gift came late. She's perfectly fine. So don't send comments worrying about my friend or whatever. She's fine, okay? Just want to make that clear. So what is it exactly? It's something pretty freaking sweet is what it is. If I can work around boundaries here. I'll probably just edit this part out. It is yet another addition to the Funko Pop collection. She's the one that gave me the Supersonic that I got signed by Roger Craig Smith. And now she is giving me this guy. This is the glow-in-the-dark Hot Topic exclusive Silver the Hedgehog Funko Pop. Get in the light so you can see it a little better. But, yep, there it is. She wanted to give this to me for Christmas, but we had mailing problems, so we had to try again, and it finally got here. And I absolutely love it, man. This is such a cool pop. Not only that, I am a huge sucker for these glow-in-the-dark pops. They're my favorite Funko Pops, and they look so good together at night. So, yep, that's another pop for the collection. Glow-in-the-dark Silver the Hedgehog. And if you guys want me to do a video about this, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to do one. So, yeah, I think that's going to about wrap things up. So, I'll just get all the stuff from particularly this haul in a picture. Well, not a picture, in a presentable way. And then we'll just end off with some final thoughts.
Alrighty,
And this is everything all together. I apologize for not having the light on for those last few, but just wanted to get all the filming done. There we go. Yep, that's everything all together. So, ignore Goku and Vegeta. They're kind of just there. Ignore that too. Crap, it's too big for me to get it all in one shot. But, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this almost every single day. Stay tuned because I am still doing the 3rd season of Miraculous Ladybug. That's going to be coming out soon. And I'm also doing a triple review of Dune, which should be coming out soon as well. So, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I'm Jat Small of Animation Station. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything in this haul down below. Let me know what you want me to keep an eye out for next time. And also let me know if Force Awakens is good or not. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace.